Hey, how's it going, everyone? So, I want to talk about why lawyers often get this stereotype or bad rap that they're jerks or they're rude or condescending. And I think that, that's a pretty fitting stereotype, largely because lawyers every day are arguing with people and trying to prove that they're right. And so, because of this, in their personal lives, they often carry that work mentality with them. Even when lawyers are just filing paperwork and doing simple tasks, they're often trying to prove or say that they're right about something, that something should be granted to them, for their client, or something should be approved. And so lawyers are constantly in this mindset of trying to figure out and explain why or argue why their position is correct. And in addition to that, why someone else's position is wrong. So often lawyers are in court and they're trying to show why opposing counsel, whether that's a prosecution maybe, or a defendant in the criminal law sense, or where that is a defendant or plaintiff in the civil law sense, there's an attorney who is trying to say that they're right. And they're trying to point out why the other person is wrong, and they're trying to say here are the reasons why this other person shouldn't be believed. They're trying to tell the judge, they're trying to tell a jury potentially why the other person, the other party, shouldn't be believed. So when your job is day in day out thinking about how you can make someone out to look foolish or illogical or wrong, and that's your mentality for most of the time, it can be pretty easy to carry that over into your behind the scenes daily regular life. And so a lot of lawyers have this kind of stereotype that they are jerks and they're always trying to argue and put people down and show why someone's wrong. And from my experience, that's definitely been the case. And I've seen that quite a bit. Just having done it and having worked in it. Now, of course, there are some lawyers who try to be more cordial and kind and use that to their advantage. Especially, in the criminal law context, I've seen lawyers with reputations who, with the prosecution, they have a very amicable relationship. They're able to contact them and be like, hey, let's work out a deal, let's work out some plea bargain deal and things like that, and they have a good relationship, just because they kill with kindness kind of thing. But even that's going to come to a head because eventually, if they have to go to trial or if they have to, make an argument for a judge in a preliminary hearing, they're going to be saying things and doing things to say why the other party is wrong, why the other person is wrong. So even people who are kinder lawyers still are going to be engaging in saying, hey, what this other person is saying is wrong, needs to be discarded, is moot, is problematic, whatever it is, and they should be denied whatever it is they're requesting. So it's just the nature of the business. You kind of are always on edge, always immediately wrapping your mind out, thinking about what is wrong with the other person's statements, what's wrong with their arguments, what kind of holes can you poke in what someone else is saying. And that's how you get that lawyer stereotype, is people who are especially working a lot in that, especially in the adversarial parts, they're always are in that mentality. And even lawyers who are new associates doing just legal research for partners or for higher ups, I mean, they're still themselves writing in legal language, thinking about how it is that they can attack someone else's ideas, position, arguments. So that it's just the nature of the game. There's no way around it. Most of the lawyers who are practicing day in day out with adversarial proceedings, their personalities. I mean, if you're not comfortable with sounding like a jerk or putting somebody down or saying that they're wrong, it's going to be very hard to function, because that is your function, is to be there and be an advocate for your position or client, and to show that somebody else is wrong, or that you're right, that your ideas are right, that you should be approved and validated. So it can be very dysfunctional if you don't take yourself out of that mindset and have more vulnerable communication in your private life. But it's definitely a thing. And some people struggle with that. And those who struggle with being able to be adversarial, and those who struggle with being able to think through all the details of a case and look for any possible problems or holes, or things that could go wrong end up getting caught off guard. Unfortunately, if the other person or party client of the opposing counsel has things that they can overturn your arguments and your points with. So it's definitely a profession that keeps you on your toes and makes you someone who likes to argue and likes to be on edge about those things. I mean, really anything, not just legal issues, but you know, it can be where you want to go to eat. So I hope that helps enlighten some people on the on why people see lawyers as being jerks, and I'll talk to you later.